Now that we know the new pinnacle weapon for the Crucible is going to be a submachine gun, let's learn about SMGs. For starters, there are 4 archetypes of SMGs: precision, aggressive, adaptive, and lightweight. Let's start at the top with the antiope-d, which is a precision 600 RPM submachine gun. A precision frame means that its recoil is going to be fairly up and down. Less horizontal recoil deviation, more up and down. Since the start of the game, the antiope-d has always been the outlier when it comes to SMGs because it's almost an auto rifle with the ranges that it can hit. It accomplishes this through an already high base range stat, plus a medium zoom scope, plus the ricochet rounds perk. Never forget that in the world of Destiny, the range stat affects a lot of different things. For one, there's aim assist, which somehow works with aim stickiness and bullet magnetism, and it also affects range drop-off. The next thing to talk about is scope zoom. The rule of thumb I like to stick to is the higher the zoom, the better the range drop-off. Strangely enough, the Ricochet Rounds perk doubles down on helping for range drop-off by adding a small degree of range and a small degree of zoom. The last thing to talk about in terms of range is the Masterwork. If you happen to be lucky with a range Masterwork, expect the range drop-off to be affected by around 1 to 2 meters max. So as you can tell by the chart, the antiope-d is the king of range, and Bad Reputation isn't too far away. Keep in mind that I have the best possible roll on Bad Reputation, and it still can't touch the stock roll of an antiope-d. Of course, while the antiope does have a base range advantage over the Bad Reputation, the Bad Reputation is an energy weapon, so that opens up kinetic pairings like the Izanagi's Burden, whereas the antiope offers pairings like the Fighting Lion, the Merciless Fusion, etc. As far as recommended perks for precision SMGs, I do recommend Kill Clip, and I also recommend any perk that helps with range, aka medium zoom scope and ricochet rounds and a range masterwork. It really does make all the difference considering it is a precision frame and the recoil should be manageable. The next archetype to go over is the aggressive 750 RPM, which the only kinetic one that exists is the Hard Truth, and the energy variant is going to be the Aikilos SMG. You can see that it drops off at 23 meters, and it has a combination scope of Model 8 Red with Ricochet. Keep in mind that is a medium zoom, and for Masterwork, I'm actually opting for stability here because unlike the precision frame, the recoil on the aggressive is quite unwieldy, so the more stability it has, the less kick between bullets, the more you can control it. I'll talk about time to kill later in this video, but keep in mind for Hard Truths, I recommend a combination of stability and range perks. Next up is the adaptive frame SMGs. These have an RPM of 900, and the range drop-off you're going to see is anywhere from 21 to 24 meters, depending on whether or not you opt for high caliber or ricochet rounds. You can see my scope for this trackless waist is a Dust Dot D1, which is a medium zoom, and I opted for high caliber rounds on it. I of course would want a variant with ricochet rounds, but I can't complain with high cals because at 900 RPM, that is a lot of flinch. Unlike the aggressive and lightweights, I'm going to recommend that you go all in on range because with an adaptive frame, it does less headshot damage, but more body shot damage than a lightweight 900 RPM. In other words, the adaptive frame gets an advantage to body shot time to kill, so why not go all in on range to make it so that you can hit body shots from further away. The final archetype to talk about is the lightweight 900 RPMs. You can see that this drops off at around 18 meters, but with Ricochet you can probably expect somewhere around 21. The advantage to lightweights is not only the lightweight bonus, which is an invisible +2 to mobility and an increase to sprint speed, but also the fact that it does more headshot damage than the adaptives. So it actually does have a better TTK for headshots, but a worse for body shots. Since hitting headshots is probably the way to go, I recommend a combination between stability and range yet again, rather than going all into range. If you were to throw a counterbalance mod on any of these SMGs, I would recommend doing that on the aggressive or the lightweights. Now let's talk about time to kill. I'm going to flash a lot of background footage on the screen right now, so pay attention. Now that we understand the time to kill, the bigger picture becomes a bit more clear, which is The balancing for SMGs is quite clever. There seems to be a reason, a purpose to use each SMG archetype. Of course, because of shotgun strength, the SMGs have been completely overshadowed, and the addition of the last word didn't help this at all. But seeing as shotguns are going to be nerfed and Joker's wild, maybe SMGs will have their time to shine. I pretty much use every archetype of SMG in Season 5 Legend Rank Competitive, as well as the evidence that we found out about SMGs today. Here's what I personally conclude. Starting from the top again, the antiope-d is going to be your best all-around choice. It's lethal up close, and it can somewhat assist with team fights with that significant range drop-off at 28 meters. Moving on to aggressive frame, if you read the perk description, it says bonus damage at close range, and nobody knows what the hell this means. Now, I do have a clip that I'm going to show you at the end of the video where it shows me shooting a Guardian 4 times in a row, the exact same amount of bullets, and on the 4th time, that exact same amount of bullets actually kills the Guardian. So what happened? Overall, the vibe I get from the aggressive frame is inconsistency. Sometimes you're going to pop off and hit that .67, other times you're going to miss and wish you were using something else. As far as specific aggressive SMGs go, I do highly recommend the I-Kilos SMG because at bare minimum, you'll activate the Disruption Break perk, which really helps in teamfights. For recommended hard truth rolls, I would go with Snapshot, Kill Clip, Ricochet rounds in a Stability Masterwork, so you have the best combination of handling, stability, and range perks. Next up is the adaptive SMGs, and these are the most spammable because the body shot TTK and RPM combination is very forgiving. Just spray in their general direction and cross your fingers. The perk pool for Trackless Waste is superior to every SMG on this list. You can actually get the Quick Draw perk, which helps for just handling as well as pulling the weapon out. You can also get Ricochet rounds or high caliber rounds and Kill Clip. So if you can land those with the medium zoom scope, you are sitting pretty, my friend. The final archetype to talk about is the Lightweight 900. I used the Pillager in this case. The lightweight bonus adds an invisible +2 to mobility. If you're at 8 mobility, for instance, it'll be like you have 10, and keep in mind that those perks work exponentially. So 10 mobility is significantly better than, say, 3. If you're the kind of player that never really misses, these SMGs are probably going to be your best friend. Or if you're the kind of player that likes an aerial playstyle like, say, Top Tree Dawnblade, the lightweights also benefit that because of not only the lightweight benefit, but the idea that you're floating above their body and you'll pretty much hit their head as long as you're aiming center. If you guys like what I had to say about the Trackless Waste, then I also made a farming route video that you can find in the description of this video. I'll try my best to release it in a timely fashion after this one. The final clip I want to leave you with is the very peculiar nature of the aggressive frame SMGs. Look at what happens in the background, and somebody in the comment section try your best to explain this to me. Thank you everyone so much for watching the video. It is a pain in the ass to put all this information together, but you guys make it worth it. Again, you're the best.
All right. Think we can get our dodge? Yeah. Yeah, I don't want the collection roll. The collection rolls are really bad.